Okay, today's reading is a little snoop to see how they see you. So it's actually not going to be so much of a little snoop, but a larger, long snoop, because it's going to be a more detailed reading. So get yourself a cup of tea and sit down. And first things first, pick either pile number one, thing number one, thing number two, or thing number three. Okay, let's get started with last thing number one. So a little look on how they see you. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how do they actually come across to you? So first card here, I'm not actually OCD, but there you go. How they come across to you. Now, they come across as rather wishy-washy and rather indecisive. Somebody who might be a little bit dreamy, who has difficulty making choices, is probably very laid back and very kind. That might be the reason that you're attracted to them, but you're probably looking at this tarot, pick a deck, whatever it is, pick a card, pick a glass ball, to try and find a little bit more of what they feel for you, because they don't seem bothered. Not they don't seem bothered and not interested, but they seem generally to give across a really nice kind aura, but you're not really sure what they think for you. Oh my gosh, how they feel for you. They might have more than one option, and you might be aware of that. And they are either having difficulty deciding which one to take, or then they don't really know there's a decision to be made yet. But how do they actually feel inside for you? Now, how they actually feel inside for you is a lot stronger, but a little bit more conventional, a little bit more organised. So they actually, taking my chewing gum out, they actually, although they appear that they don't know how they feel for you, they actually do. This might be some sort of front, this laid back, oh, I'm not bothered, let's just see how things go, I can't make a choice. Deep down, if they ask themselves when they're on their own and they're being honest with themselves, they know exactly what they want. And whatever the decision is, it will probably be a more conventional, if they want a more conventional type relationship. So this is probably somebody who appears really easygoing, but probably like the thought of getting married, likes the thought of having a structure in their life, likes the thought of a 9-to-5 job, and if they are married already, they like the thought of being in a marriage, and that's a choice that they might make if that's a decision that you're looking at, or if not, that is basically their personality. They like things just so, and organised and proper. They like structure. They like things to be quite conventional, traditionally conventional. So a little bit more information about that one. Okay, now I'm wondering whether this person already has two things here. If this person is attached to somebody already, they like somebody, they also like a man or a woman who is quite traditional too. It's more like the person who enjoys making I have difficulty saying this because I don't enjoy any of it, but home cooking, somebody who grows herbs in their garden, just generally that feeling of being very homely, very good with children, very creative, very good with money, not somebody who goes off spending money, is really flashy, it's very organised, has a little bit saved, a little bit shared, that sort of thing, good in the home, likes nature, very sort of good garden, enjoys that type of thing, so quite an earthy feel about them. So this person to me may appear like, I don't really know what I want, but deep down, honestly, they know exactly what they want, and they want a traditional relationship, and they want the other person in the relationship to take on that traditional role, like a traditional marriage, and it's often seen, whether it's male or female, that is what they're after. let's see what they find attractive about you. Okay, the thing they find attractive about you is that you are kind and that you're giving, that you have time to give to other people. You're generous with your money. You're just one of those type of people. I don't know what your career is or what you do, but you give off that general feeling that you care about other people. But also in a humble way. That you're not, you're not one of those people who are like hoity-toity and don't like to take advice. You're one of those people who are probably quite easygoing yourself, very giving, very kind in many different ways, but also not in an arrogant way. Not somebody who likes to stand above people and give and be seen to be giving. It's somebody who's quite happy to do that behind, I'm going to say behind closed doors, I don't mean that either. Quite happy to do that without anybody seeing them. Okay, how do they see you physically? Oh my gosh. Okay, how they see you physically, I don't know if you're quite dark or naturally physically dark. You look darker than the rest of your family. You might have large dark eyes or basically eyes that you fall into, but this person, when they've set eyes upon you, has been totally shaken up. This is put under this card as well. The reason that they're giving you this impression that they're not bothered and they're wishy-washy. Either they're already in a conventional relationship or that's what they want and you've blown their world apart. There's something about your appearance that has taken the rug from under their feet. There's something quite magnetic about you. There's something quite attractive about you. Might not be, even if it's not conventionally attractive, there's something about your physical appearance, your face that has really shaken them up. It could be in a way that they actually feel as if you look like somebody they've known already or somebody they've been attracted to, but that has been quite a shocker for them. And it would be interesting to know the first time that you saw each other and their reaction to you. Whether you knew that they were attracted to you straight away. Yeah, definitely a very strong card. Right. If there's one thing they would like to change about you, I'd like you to stop being so happy. They would like to change about you that you obviously feel quite content in yourself, and you obviously are quite you probably have quite a good sense of self-esteem. You're probably one of those people very giving and very easy for yourself and you could be very grounded, but they find that very attractive. But I've got a funny feeling because your physical appearance has affected them. They somehow feel a little bit inferior to you, and it's made them almost want. I'm trying to get the feeling smug here. I don't think you are smug, but I do think that you make them feel inadequate. That you're so at ease with yourself and your looks and the way that you are, your whole character, that they find that quite uncomfortable because it makes them feel a little bit inadequate. And that might be the reason that they are playing I don't really know what I want, because you obviously affect them physically. They find you extremely attractive and they're looking at you from a more conventional relationship. They can see that you're kind, they can see that you're giving, but they're also a little bit scared off that the fact you seem so at ease with yourself, because this is probably the scenario where somebody finds you so attractive that they almost think that everybody finds you. I mean, you probably are very attractive, but they think everybody finds you as attractive as they do, and they find that quite threatening. Okay, this card here is for if there's a soul connection. So to me, this is a major arcana card. So there is some strong connection between you, but it's almost as if you had like past life together, it was almost as if you were separate and then couldn't actually get together. And in this life, it might be why you feel, while he sees you or she sees you in a way that's hit them. Because there's obviously, it might be something left over from if there are past life connections that they didn't quite get together with you. And there's that strong feeling that it's something that you want to do in this lifetime. So where do they want to go in this relationship? Okay, yeah, this card here, where they want to go with you, or with your relationships, ties in with these two cards here. This person is quite intense. You have made them react in a way that's very intense, and they feel slightly obsessed with you. They do feel obsessed with you, so they feel almost bound to you inside their mind. This totally contradicts the way that they're appearing at the moment. What they want from you is they want that conventional marriage relationship. That's really, really important to them, and you've affected this person very deeply, and they're finding it very difficult to deal with because they're trying to project this "I'm not sure, I'm not bothered," wishy-washy sort of feeling with it. They feel the connection, they feel drawn towards you, and it's obviously something that's from some sort of past life, and there's that really, really strong pull. They feel slightly threatened by you because they see you in such a high light, that you are kinder, more giving, really easy with yourself, and that's, I'm going to say smugness. It's not because you are smug, but they feel that feeling that you are content with yourself is slightly threatening. And what they ideally would like to do with you is to put you into a relationship where you're seen as a pair. You know, you're either marriage or basically a traditional sort of pairing, so that everybody in the outside world can see that, and that would make them feel safer. And then you might be able to swap that they appear really happy and content with themselves, rather than pretending that they're not bothered. Okay, advice for you would be to be open, to be adventurous, and to make your move with this person, because this person is obviously really attracted to you. They feel the connection. They're quite conventional deep down. They could actually be a little bit shy. You've blown them away with your appearance. There's something about them that's totally taken the rug from under their feet, and they see you in such a high light that they have got themselves into a stage where they're slightly obsessed. And they might not be coming forward to you and then feigning this indifference. So I think it's going to be up to you to move towards them in an open and friendly and fun-loving way, an exciting and adventurous way. So if you go to them and perhaps offer to do things with them which are fun, that would probably make them feel more at ease. Or if you're already in a relationship, it would be it would be a really good idea just to have some fun together and to have an adventure and do something together that would pull you both together without them having to put on this face. They are probably physically attracted to you, but also see in you something that fits in with their ideal relationship. It would be interesting to know the relationship between their parents, because that might be, if it's positive, that might be what their ideal is, and that's what they're looking for in somebody else. And you've obviously hit their button, and they can see their mother might be one of those people that had really good self-esteem, was very giving, perhaps went out in the community, was just very, very kind with her children, and very giving. And they might have seen that in you, whether you're male or female. It could have been their father or their mother, but you've had a really, really strong effect on this person, and they think that they already know you from some sort of past life. There's some sort of recognition there, and there's a really heavy bond in their thoughts towards you. Physically, there's a bond there, and mentally there's a bond there. So, but it's up to you to make the move. I think it's up to you, because they are pretending that this isn't happening for some reason. It's slightly protecting them. I wouldn't say I don't get any cards here for self-protection, but there's something here that they are waiting for you. I do get a slight feeling there's a low self-esteem on their part. The fact that it's something they want to change in you. Probably the reason for that is only because it makes them feel slightly inadequate. Not a nasty, strong feeling, but just that feeling that you make them feel slightly inadequate because of the effect that you have had on them. Right, I'm going to finish there. If this helps, or if you want any more of these readings, can you hit the like button so I know which type of readings that you like, and can you subscribe so that if you like it, then you get some more. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Okay, pile number 2. So this is a little detective snoop into how they see you. So we're going to put 8 cards out. Each card will relate to something, how they think of you or how they see you in some different way. What I'm going to try and do as I'm reading it is to see if there are connections between each of the cards, just to see if it gives me any more of a more detailed picture on how they see you. Okay, just a little shuffle. How they see you. 2, 3, 4. That's 9. That's not 8. I lied. Okay. First card that I'm going to turn over is how they project themselves to you. Are they all upside down? No, but I don't read them upside down. Okay. How they project themselves to you is, quite frankly, they don't project themselves to you. They are very withdrawn from you. They are trying to keep themselves to themselves. They are somebody who, if you do actually know this person, they will seem very quiet. They will seem quite reserved, but also very spiritual or very in tune with themselves. There'll be somebody who you think has been through the mill and has used everything that they've come across in their life. They've put it inside themselves. I can't speak in proper words. They've utilised this in a way that has brought the best out of them. So they seem quite wise, as if they know what's going on. They're probably very good at reading characters. You probably feel that they can read your character. They are somebody who's searching. Is probably somebody who could be quite religious, could be constantly searching for something. They could travel physically, but if they are travelling physically, they're doing it because they are searching for something mentally. If they're not travelling physically, they will be doing it inside their heads. They could be somebody that studies like psychology, somebody that's looking behind things, spirituality, psychology, that type of thing. And they could also be interested in like tarot or astrology or something like that. Just something that they spend a lot of time on their own, a lot of thinking, they'd probably like to read. That's how they project themselves to you. So I would guess that you probably, I need to link this with the rest of the cards, don't actually know whether they like you or not, because they're not actually giving you anything because they are so introverted. So how do they actually feel about you? Complete opposite. They feel as if you are everything to them. They feel as if this sort of inward searching that they've been doing, that you have already done this and you have got the whole package, and they can see that in you. They feel that you complete them in some way. But they're not showing you this because I don't think that's actually, I don't know yet because there's more cards to come out. I don't feel they're not showing you because it's intentional. I just got a general feeling it's just the way that they just project themselves. They're probably quite introverted, but they've got a feeling, they have that feeling that you are what completes them, something that they have been looking for. This is probably somebody who feels quite deeply. Not so extrovert, somebody who feels quite deeply and feels like they've been on searching for something and they have found you, and they think that you are their ideal and that you are a combination of a whole lot of things that they've been looking for, all combined into one. Yeah, it's almost as if they've been searching, and now that they've seen you, it's like a feeling of celebration, as if everything's turned out well, and it's now is a time. Oh gosh, I can't put this into words, but generally to say these two together is like a harvest. It's like something that they've found, and this is like completion. So it's as if whatever they've been looking for, as I've said before, you have got it spot on. And if they're quite inward looking, they probably think that you have the things that they're looking for assessed. As if you've been through the mill, they can see inside of you that you've done this and that you've pulled on all your best parts inside yourself and how you've dealt with your life. They might know quite a lot about your history, what you've been through, or they might just get that from your general persona. Okay, I've got a funny feeling that they probably think that you have everything sussed because of something to do with your work situation. If you work in a large organisation like a hospital or prison or a church or a school, then they think that in your work situation that you project yourself very well, and that's something that they admire. But I've got a funny feeling that this might be something to do with more family, and that in some way, because of these two cards together, give me a little bit more information about this card here. So in some way that they probably know of something to do with your family and the way that you have acted, or the way you've treated your family, or you could have even brought up your own children in such a way that shows who you are, because it's reflected in the children. Or if you're still young, it could be just the way that your feelings for your family come across if you talk to them. It's just some connection with the family. It's something that makes you complete, that's quite traditional. And I'm just thinking family straight away. It could be something traditional, the way that you project yourself in work. If you are a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a teacher, if you're somebody who works in a prison, or just somebody who works in a big organisation. So it could be either, because this is home, this is conventional, big building situation, this is completion, and that's what they find attractive about you. I think it's probably best for you to fill in exactly what those cards mean when I've given you the meaning. And this person here always looking inside themselves, and they see that you have completed what they were looking for, and they admire that in you. Okay. Oh my gosh, this came in the last reading. What they find attractive about you is that there's something about your physical appearance that has totally pulled the rug from under their feet. It's not a case that they find you attractive. They don't know how to cope with how attractive they find you. It's almost as if you've hit them. One of these sort of situations which... when somebody walks into a room, when you see somebody, perhaps you're at a party, in a meeting, and you almost recognise them, and it's almost as if you feel as if you're taken slightly out of your body for a moment because you know that person. It's like as if you want to say, to introduce yourself as if you know them and you don't, and it's one of those fumbly sort of conversations. Whatever how this person sees you physically has shaken them up. There's something about you that has really taken the rug from under their feet. If this person is a spiritualist, this card actually recognises, it's almost as if they recognise you from some sort of past life. And if you have completed the same things that they have completed and you think similar to them, I wonder if you have dreamt of this person before you've met them. Or whether in some way that you have recognised this person and you think that there's some strong bond, and they've seen the same in you. So physically, that they find you very, very attractive, and it's affected them in such a way that they don't know how to handle it. They find it quite overbearing. But I also get the feeling that both of you are quite aware of the impact that you have on each other. And that's, you obviously feel there's some sort of connection there, and that this other person does too. But it's if it's a connection, not so much of something that I don't get the feeling like the Six of Cups when the connection is somebody you've known in your past. It's almost as if this connection is a bit deeper, as if it's somebody you feel like you've known in a past life. And they definitely feel that. It's one of those, I've got some stories about people that tell me about when they meet people for the first time, they do make me smile when they've almost been thrown against the wall when they've seen you. Yeah, okay. This card here, to go with this card here, is how they see you physically. Now, physically, I don't know what I think about these the things you see on the internet about twin flames. I've laughed at this for probably, I don't know, for quite a while, and almost ignored it. But I am beginning to see, especially when you pull cards like this. I don't even like to use the word twin flames. I'll take my jumper off. But they see you as, with these cards here too as well, they see you at the completion of themselves. And here, this is how they see you physically. You are their ideal. You are like the mirror of them, which automatically, if you look into twin flames, I haven't really, it's like the similarities between you two, physically probably, and personality and emotion, they are extremely strong. So you almost mirror each other, and they can see that, they can feel that, and probably if you're having this reading, so can you. This is quite a strong reading. These cards here are all major arcana, and I've only just started on this channel, and I haven't had a spread with all these major cards in yet. It's really, really, the impact you've had on them is very, very strong, and what they see inside you is themselves. But in some way, you're a little bit ahead of them, and it's almost as if they want to learn from you, as if you can teach them something. There's something about your personality that they are craving. I'm going to leave that one for now. So this is the card for whether there is a soul connection. And what they actually, obviously from the cards we've had before, there is a really, really strong soul connection. But I've got a general feeling that they are quite reticent to admit this to themselves, and it's almost as if they've put that aside for a bit. The feelings that they have for you have been quite frightening. And so what they've actually done, I think, is they've almost pigeonholed it into a part of their brain where they can just deal with day-to-day life, because this is an extremely, extremely strong spread, and this is if there's a soul connection, what they've done is they've put a little bit aside, and I don't know why, because it doesn't go the rest of the spread. I'm leaving that card for now. Where do they actually want to go with you? Okay, I'm going to leave this here because extremely, extremely strong connection, which has taken their blown them out of the water really. Where they want to go with you is there doesn't seem any reason at all to hold back. They want everything from you. They want to feel that contentment. There's no holding back in them. But this one doesn't make sense to me at the moment, so I'm just going to leave that there for the moment. What they want from you is they want completion, and they feel like they're almost there. This is like a number 9. The number 10 is the 10 of Cups, obviously, and they feel that you fulfill them totally. You are the other part of them. This is the card that I don't quite get yet. Let me see from the rest. Hold on a moment. Hi, sorry about that, I'm back again. I was just saying that that's very, 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 very strong cards here. This card here I pulled out for your soul connection doesn't quite make sense, because they are slightly reticent to admit that you have a connection. And the card here, which was basically what they want from you, is they want everything from you. They want you to make them feel good. They want you to feel good yourself. They want to feel that smug feeling as if they've got everything, because you're you are almost there. It's almost like the card before the family card where everything's complete, and you are that card before that. So that's where they want to get with you before they move it on. Now the card here, the reason why I couldn't read that card is because I've got notes and I can't read my own writing. So this card here was what one thing they'd like to change about you. And the thing they would like to change about you is probably the fact that you feel that you come across with these two cards together. If you are female, you'll come across in what they might term as, I'm not saying that I feel this myself, they might term as quite a masculine sense of completion. And you could be somebody who in work has everything together, and they might feel that slightly inadequate with that. Or if it's not that, it's maybe that you have your financial world is just basically organised and there, and perhaps theirs isn't, and they get that feeling of inadequacy with that. They might be more freewheeling, they might be more up in their head, they might be more spiritual, while you might be more grounded and maybe more organised, and they might feel that you may not like them because of your personality. You give the impression of being somebody with a very strong personality, somebody who's quite organised, somebody who likes things, who likes to know where they are, and you're quite a mature person. I don't know whether one or both of you have got a lot of Virgo in your charts. Because this card is Virgo, and this card here could be Virgo, and that might be the bit that you two mirror, and they can probably see that in you. But there's something about that. To me, this is quite obviously somebody who sees you as that little bit, as if you have got everything that they want, and they are trying really, really hard to be that person that you already are. And not in a negative sense, they really admire that in you, because that's where they want to go. Okay, so advice for you would be, if it's something if your relationship in some way has fallen apart, and maybe that's why you're having this reading, they want you to know that it's not over, and that this person sees you in a really, really high light. And almost like the power before, it's almost as if they feel slightly inadequate. They can see your similarities, and you have totally blown them away, and it's probably made them feel a little bit ungrounded. They can see the similarities, which are probably, both of you are probably naturally quite grounded. There's this like the energy of Virgo, which is like organised, is very sort of humble, is very sort of likes everything in its place, doesn't like extravagance, and they can see that you might be a similar person, and this has thrown them a bit. Fire sign person, or somebody really fiery, not so conventional, it might not have thrown them so much. It probably isn't that drastic to somebody who falls in love really easily, but it has thrown them. So it's just for you to realise that if something has happened between you that has made you feel as if you're at a bit of a loss, that there's something left here that you need to work on, because this connection is very strong. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Sorry about not being able to tell you what that card was. I honestly wrote a load of crap in my book that is upside down and looks like some spiders basically just wiggled across the book. So, but this card here to me is a mirror of this card here to me, both Virgo. Yours is more mature energy. This is how they see you, completion. This is basically how they see you physically. There's a huge strong attraction, and there's mirroring all the way through here. Really, really strong arcana cards, so that there's a huge attraction and they see you as them. It's like, if there is such thing as twin flames, I don't know, that's how they would see you. You are the other half of them, but you are a little bit ahead of them, and if there's a feeling that things aren't quite the way that you feel that they should be with this card here, there's still something left that you need to salvage, because I wouldn't really, if you can do so, I would try and keep hold of this relationship and try and understand that this person admires you in a very strong way. Okay, right, thank you. Pile number 2. If you like this, could you hit the like button so I know what type of thing to do more of, and if you want more readings, could you hit the subscribe? Thank you very much. Okay, pile number 3. Okay, this is a little detective snoop into how they see you. So what I'm going to do, why I called it a bit more of a detective snoop, is I'm going to put a number of cards out, and I want to actually today, I want to see the relationship between the cards more so, and not just read them individually, to give me more of an impression of their impressions of you, how they see you, how they feel about you. So a little shuffle and then we'll get going. So this is pile number 3. Why I'm shuffling for a second, could you, if you do like the type of reading, could you hit the like button so I have some idea of what people like, so I can do more of it, and if you want more readings, could you hit the subscribe button, because I've only just started the channel and sometimes I look and think, perhaps not, perhaps I should go back to school. Okay, right, here goes. So let's have a snoop. So this is 8 cards. That's 4. This is 4 more. 4 and 4, 8, and this is number 9. Okay. How do they project themselves to you? Right, this person does not project themselves to you. Basically, they are somebody who is watching and waiting. They are probably somebody who does a lot of thinking, probably far too much in their head, and how they come across to you is you're probably not getting much out of them at the moment. It's almost as if your relationship is stilted, or there's distance between you, or they are basically doing a lot of thinking and not a lot of action. So what you're getting for them is causing you to look at tarot readings to try and find out what they're thinking, because they're not putting much across, or they physically can't put much across because you're separated. Although you can pick up the phone if you actually want them. Do people do that anymore? If you wanted to. If they wanted to. So how do they feel inside? Now this person is these cards are quite reserved to me. This person is trying to look at everything very logically. They don't want their emotions to be known at all. They don't want their intentions to be known by you. They like the thought of everything being controlled and cool and not showing anything. And I don't know what the reason is for this, but I will try and find out more. From the other, does that sound really exciting? Like Scooby, I'll try and find out more from the cards. Okay, why are they being so cool with you? Okay, do you have somebody else? Is there somebody around you that finds you attractive? Are there 2 men involved? Or it could be 2 women involved. If it's, I'm tending to think if it's 2 women, or you're a man asking a question for a woman, there could be some other male, which could be a family member. That is an obstacle. If you are a female that's looking at the reading, I'm wondering whether you have a past relationship that plays on their mind and they are not letting you know, or whether you're with somebody, or they think you're with somebody. There's somebody in you that they are being reserved about, because there's somebody who has had love with you, or is in love with you, or is basically in that sort of, is a mature person that there's some sort of connection emotionally with, and that's why they are keeping themselves to themselves. Right, what they find attractive about you, now this is quite a strong card, what they find attractive about you is you feel like they think you've got your life sorted, that you are very fair, very balanced, and very calm, and this card is like the card of Libra, so the Libra features are normally very well proportioned. They have this air about them as if they don't find it, this sounds really strange, but they don't find it difficult to be beautiful. You're probably the type of person that gets clothes from different shops, and when you put them on, they look like I know a friend like this. They look like they're meant to look. Some people put clothes together and they just look bonkers. But when you put your stuff together, when you put your makeup on, or if you're a man, just the way that you put your clothes together, the way that you could be one of those creative people that are interested in interior design, so that your house could be beautiful. You just have an eye or a knack for putting things together. You might be one of those people who are just, your face is very well proportioned. You could also be somebody who has a really nice voice, a really gentle voice, or a very good singing voice. I often find with this sort of Libra energy. But the way they see you is extremely attractive. If you're looking at people that are attractive and you're interested in astrology and you want a rising sign, it's normally Libra that have the most beautiful faces. You get other signs like Capricorns are very angular, but if you want that, typically, especially if you're a woman, but it doesn't really matter either way, a typically Libra face is normally one that is seen as conventionally beautiful. There's no Libra in this woman, but my first thoughts that came when I was saying that, Marilyn Monroe, like a typical beauty, especially of that time, which is basically timeless. But that's how they see you. But there's this air also of gentleness, of fairness, of being diplomatic, of understanding what people are feeling, of the situation, and making everything fair, making everybody feel equal. It's almost as if you can, or is it slightly psychically read people, read beneath the lines, and make everybody feel comfortable. You are the ideal hostess, and that is what they admire in you: your beauty, and the fact that you're diplomatic, that you're fair, and that you're kind. A gentle air about you. You probably appear, although this at the moment, apart from this person who nobody knows who this is yet, you are probably dominant in air. The pair of you probably have Libra or Gemini or Aquarius in your charts. This, not so much, but this is a general feeling that I'm getting. Aquarius or Libra, possibly. It could be... it doesn't have to be your sun sign, it could be your moon, could be your Venus, could be Mars, could be your rising sign, but that's the general feeling I'm getting. People who like to discuss things, who like to read, who are quite intellectual and are not so keen to express their emotions. How do they see you physically? Okay, physically they see that you have turned your back on them. There's some way that they can't get, these two cards here, they can't get hold of you. I don't think that you are together at the moment. You're the one that's walked away. So basically how they see you physically is your back. Who's that comedian who's back of my head? Who just all the jokes about his poor mother. That's the image I'm getting, the back of your head wobbling off. So they admire you, your beauty, your fairness, but for some reason you've basically turned your back and walked away. They're in a position where all they can do, they can't contact you, possibly. All they're doing is thinking and thinking and thinking until their head, they need to ground themselves a bit more. They're going to be poorly. You know, especially if they're not working at the moment. If they're just doing lots of thinking, they need to get out into the fresh air. They need to do something else themselves. Why is this person thinking so much about you? They're in their head, they're trying to work out logically what has happened. Because to them, you feel as if you're the same person. You're almost both very logical, do everything in a certain manner, and you talk about what you're doing, and it's not over emotional, and you have basically just walked off. Something they'd like to change about you. They'd like you to be, they'd like you to love them. That's what they'd like to change. They'd like you to stop being as self-contained to them and just open your feelings and shut. Because if they are self-contained and they are reserved, they don't want you to be that. And that's probably the only way that you're going to get anything out of them is by you opening up and showing how much you feel for them. So you're going to have to come back and show them, because that's what they're craving. There's somebody, I reckon, these cards here, there's somebody in their way that's making them feel inadequate. Somebody from a past relationship, or somebody perhaps who doesn't approve of your relationship. A mature male And all they want from you is for you to show your true feelings to them, to show that you're attracted to them, to show that you're ready for a relationship. This isn't saying you are ready for a relationship. This is just saying that that's what they want you to show. They want you to basically take your barriers down and open up to them. Emotionally open up to them. To stop putting on that face. Stop putting on that face and give them a little bit more of that. So stop being so controlled, so fair, so this hasn't worked out, this situation isn't quite fair, this is what they want. I'm not saying don't do it. They want you to just think emotionally about it, because they can't do that. They know that you've walked away emotionally. They want that back, because if you've shared that before, they know how that feels, and they, at the moment, are not in a situation inside their head to open up emotionally, and I don't really know why. Okay, what they think here is that what has happened with you two. What has happened here is that they feel that there has been some sort of strong connection with you, but something has happened. I don't know if you've actually met somebody else and they're really jealous, but they feel as if they feel heartbroken, as if they're not going to reveal their feelings to you because something has broken their heart or really hurt them, emotionally hurt them. They can't open up until you do first. And I've got the general feeling that this could be somebody else is coming into the relationship that they're finding really difficult to deal with. Or either you've been in a relationship, you've moved out, moved off, and somebody's moved in. And they feel that, but this is what they really want from you, and you have cut off from them for some reason or other. Okay, yeah, this whole pack makes quite a lot of sense. In fact, that this card here is the obstacles that you need to overcome. So the obstacles you need to overcome is you've shut off. You are here, you are hiding everything. You've got this across your heart, you are hiding your heart, you've sort of shut off mentally, you are just grounding yourself and you're not moving forward with this. You're there, the heart is broken, you've walked away, and all they want you to do is to open yourself up again. Or to know that you still have feelings for them, because they've cut off from you and they're just thinking. So whatever has happened between you two, they have just cut off, and they know that you're quite a fair person, but you can also, from what I'm reading from this, you can also be quite cold yourself, as they can be. There's quite an airy quality about this pile. If there's somebody else in, this person might be slightly different that's come in. This person might be the new person might be able to express their emotions in a very mature and giving manner, which you might not be so at ease with, but this other person is what wants that from you. So my suggestions to you would be, in this relationship, is there's lots of men here in this relationship, is to decide exactly what you want. This situation to me feels hard for both of you, all four of you, or all three of you. It just feels hard. It's as if you've all pulled in your, not purse strings, but your heartstrings, something that has come into the relationship and nobody's giving an inch. And the way forward out of this is to be more open, to be more mature, and to take action, to talk about things, to get in touch with people, to basically just be more grown up about the situation, because there's a lot of hurt going on here. There's a lot of people who have cut off feelings, cut off contact, cut off trying some way to cut off their thoughts, because this is quite painful for them. only you will know this situation. I'm just, to me, if somebody was giving me advice, I would hope they would say to me to decide exactly what you want and to take action with that, and to be strong, and to be, not pointed, what's the word? Decisive, to be decisive what you want, so you're not hurting yourself or nothing else or anybody else, and you're not hurting anymore. If you're finished with this person, and if you've moved away and they're still hurting, what you need to do with these, this is what they want you to do, and this is your advice. You need to be warm and open and forward, and you need to tell them exactly what has happened, why you've done it, why you've walked away, and if you have got feelings for them, even if you don't want the relationship anymore, to make them, to let them know why you're with them in the first place, all the good things you found about them, and the reasons that you probably, if you still want to move on, that's why you're going. Okay, right, I'm going to finish it there. That just made me feel a bit sad. Okay, I hope this sorts itself out for you. It just gives me the general feeling that something has happened where there's emotionally and physically, as in distance as well, cut off from somebody, and they're feeling hurt, and you're feeling that you're not going to give them anything. I don't really know about this card here, whether somebody else is involved. I really don't know. But there's a lot of men in this spread. So if it's a man, okay. And my first thought was a gay relationship there, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, because you need to, I've given sort of guidelines. If you can fill in the rest of the information with what you know already, I'm hoping this helps. If it does, could you hit the like button so that I know what type of thing you like? And if you do want more of these types of reading, can you hit the subscribe, so that I know? I don't need to know that. I just need to know there's somebody I'm not just talking to, a man with a dandelion on his head. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.